Hello, my friends. Jerry Rosa here in the Rosa Stringworks Workshop. Had a busy day yesterday, and I'll tell you all about that here in just a minute. I thought I'd start off with one of my more favorite tunes, and I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to play this in the key of A. I don't know that you can see my hand very well, and people are always complaining about where the camera's pointed, and I can't do much about it. It's just a little tiny vlogging camera. I can't get my right. People say, I want to see your right hand. Well, I can't get it all in there. And my head's, just difficult. Bear with me. This is a song that the Chapmans did, and I think I did it on one of my videos at the end, and I've done it a time or two since then, I think. I've got to hand it to you. You've got a great attitude. You keep that gleam in your eye much better than I when the chips are down. It always shows on your face. That look just gives it away. Guess that's the beauty of you, your love shining through on the darkest day. You don't ever stop smiling. You don't ever look like anything's gone wrong. You're there on my wall to remind me of all the love we had. I just look at you there. Oh, and sometimes I swear I hear you say everything is okay, it'll be alright. Wish I had your point of view, see things the way that you do. 'Cause it ain't all black and white, just living my life and missing you. You don't ever stop smiling. You don't ever look like anything's gone wrong. You're there on my wall to remind me of all the love we had. No, you don't ever stop smiling. You don't ever look like anything's gone wrong. You're there on my wall to remind me of all the love we had. You can find that by the Chapmans out on YouTube. We haven't, I'm trying to think, did we ever record that? I don't think we did yet, but we probably will one of these days once I get all this stuff worked out. Oh, by the way, my t-shirt there today, that's what I don't like about microphones. Duct tape. It can't fix stupid, but it can muffle the sound. You guys will be sending me rolls of duct tape. Anyway, by the way, on that song, that was in the key of A, and it went, the second chord is a 2 minor, which is a B minor in this case, and then it goes up to the 5, which is, after a 2, you almost always go to a 5, so it goes up to the E, and then back to the A. Now the choruses go, you don't ever stop, goes to the 2 minor, smiling, and it goes back to the 5 again. You don't ever look like, and it goes back to, that goes back to the 1, which is the A. Anything's gone wrong. And that would be, if you're capoed with it, if you're capoed on your guitar and you're playing in G, that would be your E minor. It's your 6 minor is what it is. And in this case, because I'm playing open, it's an F sharp minor. And then it goes down to it drops down to the D. and then up to the E again, and then back to 1. Just to give you an idea there. It's a little bit of a tricky tune. I wouldn't exactly call it a jam buster, but it's not always jam friendly, depending on who you're playing with. But I really like that song. I think it's such a pretty song, so well written, and it's called The Photograph. You could kind of gather that from what he's saying in the song there. You're just there on my wall. Moving on. I've got a list of stuff that I did yesterday. Thought I'd just tell you about some of it. You know, I told you I was going to try to work on the auction. Well, I did that. I went down there and I gave it a real concerted effort. I went through that software the best I could. I can't make nothing out of it. It makes no sense whatsoever. I can't even honestly tell if it's installed. In fact, I don't think it is. You have to understand that this WordPress what am I trying to say? I can't even talk. I can't even think right now. I can never think of words. Anyway, the software, WordPress, is basically designed for programmers. It's not designed for average guys like me. I probably should go to a different web. I cannot think of what you call. What is my space out there? I hate myself. I can't think of words. It drives me crazy. It's been that way my whole life. But anyway, it's really complicated, and you can't even honestly tell if it's installed. It doesn't install like regular software. You go to the WordPress location, and you click on this item, and the first thing they do is make sure you pay for it. Well, I paid for it, but you'd think it would just install and do the correct thing, and no, it doesn't seem to do that. And I can't figure it out. So I sent them an email yesterday. I spent, 30, 40 minutes more trying to figure it out and just gave up. Sent them an email and told them that I really regretted buying this thing, that I had already used an online auction software on my site before, and it wasn't that difficult to figure out. I can't even tell if yours is installed or not. I mean, that's how bad it is. It really is that bad. Pitiful. Just plain pitiful. You'd think if you're going to sell something like that you could at least provide some information with it or something. I don't know. It's pitiful. Well, so then I got frustrated with that. So then I went out to the Sawmill, and it just more or less added to the frustration because everything that could kind of did. It was one of those days yesterday that would have embarrassed Murphy. I mean, it really would have. He'd have been red in the face. So I worked on the sawmill there, and nothing bad went wrong on the sawmill. It's just that like lots of little stuff just happened. It was just normal stuff, like the belt got loose and it wouldn't cut, and the water had froze up, and I don't know, the tension handle came loose again, and and somebody asked me if I had a way to fix that. Well, I figured out a way to fix that. It's easy. You just put a little bar into the end, and it's hard to explain. I'd have to show you a picture, but I can just poke a little bar into the end of the rack that's there, and that bar sits above the handle. The handle can't spin, so it's real easy to fix. So I fixed that, and I don't know. There was a whole bunch of other stuff. It ran out of gas once. Just anything and everything. And then the wood itself wasn't all that great. So let me show you the wood that I got out of it, and here's a little video clip on that. Well, it's been a little while since I've showed you this pile of cedar siding, and from about here up is so from about right here up is that one big log. So that's a lot of siding right there. That's the positive. The negative is it's got lots of bad spots in it. See this here and that there. Not all of them have that. Several of them, probably 5 of them are clear, maybe 6. But most of them have something like that. So what I'll probably do is rip them down and make them narrower, maybe 4 to 5 inch boards on, because these are 11 inches wide. So I could probably get a 4 to 5 inch board out of one side, and then, whatever on the other side. But we'll see. At least there's some wood there. you never know what you're going to get till you open them up. Yeah, that's true. And that kind of added to the frustration there was that, it had such bad spots in it. The wood was pretty much perfectly clear for the first 5 or 6 pieces. And that was about, I was having trouble with the sawmill all the way through those 5 or 6 pieces. Just, one thing, then the next. I mean, like I'd make one cut and then I'd have to fix something, and then one cut and I'd have to do something else. And they weren't big, massive problems. They were just little things like I mentioned, And so, but it was frustrating. So then I finally got to where the saw was, everything was in tune and everything was working, and then all the wood was bad from that point on. It was just like, you can't make this stuff up. So anyway, it was frustrating. So then I got that done, and so then I moved on to working on network type stuff, and I decided to connect up my hard drive. I showed you a few days ago where I bought a 22 terabyte hard drive to, more or less just a place to store all the video footage. And anyway, I know how to connect it up to a PC and make it work. I already did that. I tested it. I even formatted it just to make sure. So I thought, well, it won't be that difficult to just hook it up to a router. It makes it easier to get to, though probably just hooking up to a PC will be fine. I thought maybe the router would make it transfer faster. I don't even know if that's true for sure, but I kind of think it would. So I hook it up to router. No bueno, nothing. Can't see it out there. It ain't out there nowhere. I mean, I get hints that it's there. It's hard to explain that, but I can go into the different router software and stuff, and I can see something, like it might be there, but there's nothing in the router software that says connect a USB drive, hard drive. When I look for help out on YouTube, that's what they all say. They say, well, just go into your router software and go into the connect USB hard drive and just click on that. And, there's nothing out there. And and I've got 2 different apps. I got one for my phone app, and then there's a main router app off of the main computers, and neither one of them address anything similar. And I went through everything like 20 times trying to find it, and there's just nothing out there. So I don't know why that particular hard drive won't work with my particular routers, but it doesn't seem to work. But if I connect it straight to the PC, it's fine. I can get to it. Just frustrating. Things like that. It was just one of those days where there wasn't one single thing that worked. And so anyway, I did make other significant improvements to my network while I was doing that, and everything's really working well on the network now. I can see all the PCs really good, and it's working really good overall, but that part was really frustrating. Let's see, I installed a better video card in this PC, the one I'm using right now. I knew the video card that was in here was, decent video card, but I thought I had one that was a little better, that had a little more memory, and sure enough, when I looked it up, I can't remember if the one that was in here had 4 gig or 6 gig. It was one of the two, and the new one has 8 gigs, so I put the new one in, or it wasn't brand new. I had bought it a long time ago, and anyway, it turned out to be an extra for some reason or another. I can't remember. So I put that in yesterday. Now, that did go pretty easily and worked pretty well, so I was okay with that. But that helps me here. I got a better looking screen. Things move faster on the video. I can edit videos here better because of that better video card. Boy, they don't give video cards away anymore. NVIDIA, I think, is the company that's kind of behind a lot of the video cards. And I think they're now the 3rd biggest company in the world, or in the United States at least. Something like that. I mean, because of the greed hit about the time of COVID, and video cards went from a few $100s to like $2,000 now. I mean, they're ridiculous prices now. Just ridiculous. You'll pay more for the stupid video card than you will for the whole computer. It's just total greed. It's sad, man. It's sad. This world is broken, and it ain't never going to get fixed. let's see. I also worked a bit more on the interface here with the microphones and all that, but only a little tiny bit more. And I do think I got a little bit more understanding, but, not enough to write home about. So today, then, getting ready for our live concert tonight at 7 o'clock. If you would like to join us, we'll be live with the whole band here 7 o'clock this evening. So I'll be rearranging everything in here to make room and setting up chairs and setting up all the microphones and all that. So the biggest part of today is going to be devoted to just getting ready for tonight. And so that's what I'll mostly be doing. And I'll be testing and stuff. There's an outside chance you may see me do a live test or something today. I don't know if I'll have to do that or not, but I might have to just to give myself assurance that it's going to work. So we'll just see how all that goes. Oh yeah, I forgot. The title of the video today is my commute to work. So take a look at this. Well, my friends, I thought I'd show you my commute to work this morning. Well, in order to commute, I have to get up. So anyway, I guess I'll get up and thought I'd give you a different perspective of the man cave. And that's where I was just now. Of course, there's my cover, not folded. But out in there that's the game room. There's a big pool table out there. And here is mostly just a junk room. It's what would be called a living room or front room, but we just keep junk in there mostly. We keep that all shut off, and we don't heat that section out there. And here's where I've been vlogging from the last couple of mornings. It's a kind of cramped little spot. I'll probably move that over here once I get rid of that recording station. And anyway, we'll figure it out as time permits. Well, I haven't finished my commute yet. Let me sit down. Okay, I've sat down, so I've done my whole commute. Yeah. By the way, the room that's out there that you can see through those doors, that room is connected to the game room, and those two rooms alone are bigger than Sue and I's first house. When we first got married, we bought a small house, and that house, bedroom, great room, bathroom, kitchen, wasn't as big as those two rooms there. They're a lot bigger than they look. That I would say more than 60 feet from one end to the other. It'd be approximately 60 feet, I guess. And it's about 16 feet wide, maybe a little wider. That pool table is I bought it with the house. I think I've told you guys this story, but I can't remember if I have or not. It's been a long time if I did. When we bought this place, I've told the story about I sat out there in the driveway looking, waiting because we were like fifth in line that morning. It was the first day they were showing the place, and I was fifth in line. I was the last person to get to look at it that day. So I was just biting my nails all day long that they didn't get a contract or get, an offer or whatever. So anyway, we did end up buying it, of course. And so then we bought it right out on the driveway, and the guy says, well, don't you want to see the house first? I said, nope, I don't care. I don't care what it looks like. I'm buying this place. I mean, it was such a steal deal. It was 280 acres surrounded by Mark Twain Forest, 2 wells, 2 houses, and one house wasn't much, and this one ain't a whole lot better. But anyway, it was, they were asking $250,000 for 280 acres with that and all the outbuildings and everything. I said, this is a no-brainer. Now, the problem was that it was completely trashed. That's the only reason nobody else jumped on it. It was so trashed that it makes like the city dump look like it's pretty clean. That's how bad this place was. And the weeds were way taller than your head. It didn't look like this at all. The way you've seen it in pictures. It was bad. I'm seriously telling you, bad. So. And I think Sue even cried when I told him I was buying it because it was so nasty looking. So then we did come in the house, and this house is, It depends on how you calculate it, but it's well over 6,000 square feet, and you can calculate it up to 7,000 square feet. It's really big. It's got 4 fireplaces in here, and every inch, and I am not exaggerating about this one bit, every square inch of this place was full of mostly antiques. This guy was a hoarder from where hoarders come from, and that pool table was one of the things. There's one of those bowling machines out there. There was a player piano. I bought all that stuff with the house, and I was running back and forth. There was so much stuff here. It's unbelievable how much stuff there was here. It took the guy. I don't want to exaggerate here, but it took him a full month for sure. And I was starting to say 2 months, but for sure a full month with a tractor trailer truck, moving stuff every day. Every weekend we came down, he was moving stuff with a tractor trailer truck, filling them up and hauling them off. And then, even after that, they had to run 2 auction rings to sell off all the rest of the stuff. They had one auction up here at the house, and they had another auction down at the barn. And I was all day long, I was running from one auction to the other, back and forth, buying stuff. And it was just incredible. And every square inch of this house was full of antiques. They lived in the house. It was crazy. You walked through. You had to walk like sideways down aisles. I'm not kidding you. You've never seen anything like it. It was relatively organized, I guess you'd say, for the mess. It wasn't like, it was mostly pretty good stuff. Most of you would like to have a lot of it, It was pretty good stuff, really. But it was just a mess. I had never seen anything like it in my life. It was just an old man and an old woman that lived here, And what I thought was the funniest, though, and I think I have told this one, back in the bathroom, and that bathroom was the biggest mess. The guy himself was a horrible carpenter, just horrible. And he had messed around in the bathroom, and it was just a disaster. But they had a table that went along a wall, and I would say the wall was 12 feet long, and they had a table that went that whole length, and they had clothes piled on it, up on it, all the way to the ceiling. And I'm not kidding about that either. It was all the way to the ceiling, all the way down to the corner of this table. And clothes were just piled on that all the way up. So when they moved all that away, just the exposed part of the wall had been painted. They had painted around their clothes. I am not making that up. That is true. I can't believe they did that. It's just unbelievable. That's just how what a scuzz bucket that guy was. And it's weird how he had so much antiques and stuff. Where he got them all, I have no idea. I have no clue, because he wasn't the kind of guy that you would call industrious that would gone out and work for it all. So I'm not saying he stole it, but it wouldn't surprise me if there was a few things in here that he didn't actually own. But anyway, it was a mess. It truly was the biggest mess I ever saw. And it, like I said, even after a whole month of moving all that stuff, it still took 2 auctions a whole day to sell everything else. It was the biggest mess you ever saw. And I was out of breath all day long because I just kept running back and forth. It was crazy. Anyway, that's all that story. John Pepper was the first one to check in this morning. Theron Corbett and Lester Cunningham. And let's see, are there any question marks? There's Eddie Turner, so he's with us this morning. And Blair Turner says, just sitting back with a cup of coffee here on a cool Calgary morning and waiting for a chirp or a rant or maybe both. I think you got both already. You're doing pretty good. You must be psychic. Let's see. Bill Rhodes, good morning, everybody. And then let's see. Bill Rhodes again. Jerry, what did you make Rod mad? Oh, did I make Rod because he wasn't here? He's not the first one in this morning. I saw his name somewhere. Yeah, there he is. He's down below there. I think he's resigned his post as the chatster leader, I guess. But anyway, let's see. David Tharp there says, "Do you all play? There's an old spinning wheel in the garden." I think we do that. I think Gary does it. I think, if I don't have it confused with a different song, I'll write it down just in case. Moving on down here, looking for question marks. Dottie says, "Hello, Carolyn." No, I got off on the wrong line there. "Hello, Jerry. Could you play Blue Moon of Kentucky tonight?" I'm not very good on that, but I'm the one that typically leads that one. I'll see if I can get it worked in. Blue Moon of Kentucky. I'll have to practice that one. I haven't done that in forever. Steve Koffelt, "You did Ray Price's Please Release Me yesterday. He called that his BFH song before Humperdinck." Okay. Oh. Okay, I got you. Or I think I got you. I don't know. Oh, B4 Humperdinck. Okay, I got you. Yeah, BFH. All right. Sometimes it takes me a little while. I'm not the fastest, especially when it comes to reading, man. It takes me a while to put it all together. My head don't work good with reading. Ronald Todd, "Jerry, what's the sound equipment behind you?" Well, the big speaker. See, this 85-inch TV, I bought a home theater system with it, or whatever you want to call it. It's just really a, audio system is really what it amounts to. And it's a 7.1, I think. It might be 7.2. I can't remember. 7.1, I think. Anyway, so those are just part of the speakers. Those speakers used to be in my recording studio. I had like 4 of those big speakers, on 4 walls in the recording studio, so that if you were in the middle of the studio, it would blast at you, and you could really turn them up. So those are just 2. Those are like that little black speaker is part of the actual sound system, and then the big ones I've just added in there. So there's actually, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's actually 8 speakers connected to so I guess that is 7.1. One of them's a woofer. Anyway, that's all it is. It's just connected to the television, basically. It's pretty cool when you're watching one of those high-powered movies that's got the real sound coming at you, because it'll just about shake you out of your chair sometimes. And I'm constantly turning around, looking behind me, because I think, did somebody walk in? Because they'll open a door and close a door, and you think, what was that? And it'll be in one of those speakers behind me or something, or you'll hear somebody whisper behind you, And so I'm constantly turning around, and I can't, it just depends on the movie and the sound, how good it is. But anyway, that's what it is. Walt Willard was the first one after we went live, and then Dottie Hildebrand again. Let's see here. Moving on down, looking for question marks. Backstory, family history. What's the best wood to use to make friction pegs? Well, I think pretty much hands down it's ebony. You will find them made out of rosewood often, but rosewood will break a lot faster than ebony will break. Ebony can break, but rosewood breaks a lot faster than ebony does. So ebony by far is your best choice that I'm aware of. There may be something else, Pernambuco or something like that could probably work. I mean, some real hard woods, is what you're looking for. I mean, most any hardwood would substitute and work. It just may not work really long term. It may break down the road because there is a lot of friction and a lot of leverage on those pegs when you're twisting them and stuff. So the ebony by far is the standard, and it's by far the strongest. But like I said, almost any hardwood you could do it with, but you never know how long they're going to last. Backstory family history. Does the band do Lead Me Home? Jamie Johnson. I don't know about that one. I can't, sometimes I don't know the titles. Lead Me Home. I'll write it down just in case somebody knows it. We've got a pretty full plate already, so we'll try to work in the ones we can. Bill Webb's there, and he says 135 watching, but only 37 thumbs up. What's up with that? Yeah, well, I got 177 viewers at the moment, and I'd appreciate it if most of you, or if all of you, could click the thumbs up. That'd just be real awesome. Bill Webb's, I read that. It's terrible. It scrolled up on me and I lost my place is what happens. Bruce has got a long one there, but I'm not sure if it's for me or not. It says, a lot of the reason for the price increase in graphic cards is because of the Bitcoin data miners. They buy up thousands of them, which makes a short supply. Well, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, this just, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just a big messed up world right now. I mean, it's messed up big time. And I am not looking forward to the political season coming up and the voting and all that. It's just one liar against another one, and one cheater against another one crook against another one, and that's just pretty much the way I feel about it. I'm an equal opportunity hater. Pretty much hate them all. I just can't stand any of them, really. It's just pitiful. Pitiful, plain pitiful. And I can't excuse things that people do. I'm sorry. If you do, leopard don't change its spots. I don't care which one of those people you're talking about. Leopards don't change their spots. And that's just the bottom line. Dean Guyman, good morning. I've followed you for about 2 years. I like your style. Don't plan to build any instruments, but I do some of my own auto harp service, and your tips are always learning experience. Well, great. Thank you, Dean. I've worked on quite a few auto harps over the years. I don't know how many of those I ever showed on video, only a couple, I think. But I've worked on quite a few of them. Mike Saba, Jerry, is it just me, or is the video quality of your shop better than in your man cave? No, I think you're right, and I haven't quite figured that part out yet. I think it's got something to do with this PC a little bit, but I'm working on that. That's one of the reasons I put a better graphics card in it. Now, the picture to me looks better today. I don't know how it's coming out to you guys because I can't tell that. But on my screen, it's definitely better today. So I don't know if that helped or not. DE, 6,000 square feet. That's a lot of vacuuming. Yeah, and I'm not making this up. I swear to you, this lady said this. I'm not kidding you. My wife said something like, God, it must take you forever to clean this house. And she goes, oh, no, you can do it in 5 minutes. They were trying to sell the place, of course. You know what I'm saying? Oh, no, you can do it in 5 minutes. Yeah, I tell Sue that all the time. I said, well, I don't know about why you're having such a problem. She said she did it in 5 minutes. Yeah, that's a mess. It really is. This place is just nuts. It's absolutely nuts. It really is. Why they built it so big and just kept like I told you, it used to be 3 separate houses. The apartment that we rent out now, in fact, there's somebody staying in it today. There's somebody in the apartment. A trout fisherman, in fact, is here that came last night. And so he's in the rental apartment, which is attached to the building, but there's a drive through it, a driveway between them. There's a roof connecting it, but there's a driveway between the apartment and this house. So, you can't walk from one to the other without going outside. But anyway, so he's over there today, and then I'm counting that as the 7,000 square feet. But if you count all of this house, you can get to 7,000 square feet without too much trouble. It's really big. It's crazy big. I have no idea why they just kept adding on, and then, there was no way you could have heated it back then with 4 fireplaces. Not a chance. In fact, that would have sucked more heat out than it would have done good, I think. Crazy, just crazy. But like I said, I didn't care what it looked like. Quite honestly, the truth be told, I'd have been way better off just to doze it down and to just build a nice, decent house. That would have been way better. I wouldn't have to be cutting so much firewood. Like I've said before, and I'm not making this up, it's not an exaggeration. Pretty much everybody that owned this place after the original owner, after Gerber, because Gerber was pretty much wealthy apparently, but after him, everybody else that owned it pretty much went bankrupt here and lost everything pretty much. And it's because they were trying to heat the house with propane. You couldn't do it. There's no way. Not unless you're independently wealthy. You couldn't possibly afford it. There's no way. You can't even do it for 1 month. You're going to burn 1,000 gallons in that. Well, it only holds 800 because it's a 1,000-gallon tank. They only fill it to 80%. But you're going to burn that 800 gallons, I guarantee you, in a month, and probably faster than just a month. You'll probably burn more than that, especially when it's really cold. Like when it's down into the teens. And this morning, by the way, it was down to 17 again. It's just nuts. This valley is really cold too. I can't say every single day it's colder than the other places around here, but most of the time it is. It's the most I've seen is 13 degrees colder, and generally average is 8 degrees colder than surrounding areas. So it's a cold location and a hard to heat house, and the two of them together will bankrupt you. And that's why I have just made up my mind from the beginning that I would heat it with wood and I wouldn't use the propane. We still have the propane furnaces. In fact, they're almost brand new now because right after we bought the place, it was really weird. The furnace guy somehow came out and it was some kind of a recall, and they put in new heat exchangers in both of the furnaces. It was just awesome. It was like, they're like brand new, and we've hardly used them. I mean, we've used them a few times, but hardly ever. Let's see. Moving on down. Dottie says, vine-covered church. Well, if I can work it in with all the time that we have, I'll try. Thank you. Trevor says he's looking forward to tonight's concert. Thanks. Brian says he likes the man cave. I missed some here, so I'm backing up a little bit. So thank you, Brian. And I think we're down to Lon now. Jerry, I am just a little older than you. We need to care about the real things we buy, and you are right. We have to stop the bull and buy the best or American. Yeah, I don't even know how to explain it anymore. I truly feel like the lid's already closed on the toilet. I mean, that's how far I think we're in the toilet with the American everything, just everything, pretty much. I mean, I know every generation says stuff like that. I know that, as you get old, you get more cynical, but I'm just looking at what's really going on, and it's bad. It's just bad, and everybody is crooked as a dog's leg, and everybody's got their hand out, and everybody's just filled up with greed. And when I say everybody, I'm talking about everybody but me and you. You know what I'm saying? It's just terrible. It really is. It's just terrible. I've never seen it like it is now. And the divisiveness and I don't know if it's the social media that's caused it or what, but everybody hates everything and hates everybody else, and it's just like it's just sad. It's just really sad. Okay, moving on. Bill Dedrick. Jerry, did you see J.P. Cormier's string theory last night? No, I didn't. he had some great things to say about you. Well, that's nice of him. He's a really good guy. He's an incredible musician. He's an incredible musician. I'm not looking for people to pat me on the back. I know the difference, Those guys are really good. I'm just a slightly above average, maybe, musician, if that, and I'm giving myself a lot of credit. I really feel like I'm just slightly above an average musician. Those really good musicians, I'm not even close to them, and J.P. Cormier is one of those. I'm not even close. He's way out there. Bronson Taylor, do you sing Rocky Top? We've had lots of requests for that over the years. It's, there's 2 or 3 songs you get requests for. Rocky Top is one of them, and Fox on the Run's the other one. And both of those songs are difficult to do because they're just difficult to do. But they were super popular at one time, and they remain super popular. I'll throw it in there, and if we can work it up, we will. But let's see. Bad Bob. I agree on your political views. Unfortunately, I guess we have to have them. Yeah, I don't know what else we could do, but boy, I would love to be able to clean house somehow. I'm seriously, when I say this, I'm not, you can call it cynical, but I'm seriously telling you, the very best politician we have in this country probably should be in jail. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure there's a rare exception that I don't know about, but the ones that you do know about, they pretty much all should be in jail. I mean, if you and I did the stuff they do, I guarantee you we'd be in jail because we can't get away with it like they can. It's pitiful. It's just plain pitiful. Bill Webb, Jerry, just to let you know, I'm passing on your guitar stringing method. I've shown several people how you're passing as in you're showing it to other people. I thought you said you were passing like you're not going to do it. I'm going, okay, well, you don't have to. All right, I'm telling you, I can't read. That's my problem. I've shown it to several people how you do it. My manager is amazed at how fast you can string a guitar. Yeah, it really is a lot quicker, and especially like if you're on stage and you break a string, you can fill 30 seconds in talking and you're back into business. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't take you long to put one on, as long as you're reasonably prepared. Typically, the way I fix a broken string is I just pick up a different mandolin anymore. It wasn't worth it to fix it. But yeah, you can fix them really quick. In fact, I kind of saw somebody do that. It's been a long time ago. It was one of the professionals on stage, and he just kept talking, and he was stringing that guitar and putting a new string on it, and he never missed a beat. And then, 30 seconds later, he's playing again, and I was impressed, to say the least. And so I kind of got that, and then I saw a couple people on YouTube and stuff, and, kind of pulled it all together, and that's where I came up with the method that I use. Lon, Jerry, I have been playing guitar for close to 50 years and started around 8 or 9 years old with a violin. Sad to say, I am still broken as a musician. I do care very much about your channel. Broken as a musician. Well, I'm sorry to... Sounds kind of bad. I'm not sure what to say about that, Lon, but I'm glad you're here, and I appreciate you watching, and I wish you only the best. I hope everything goes well for you. Gary Hayden, I've been watching the live concert at my brother-in-law's house for a while now. We both love real country music. I took him to his first bluegrass festival 2 years ago, and he now loves it. Well, that's good. Glad to hear it, Gary. Newton Horn, that's my friend Bo Horn. Hey, Jerry, changing bridge on my 12-string guitar. It's a prefab bridge. peg holes are a fraction off, would it be possible to ream the bridge plate holes or plug them and re-drill? Yeah, Bo, it just depends on how far it's off. If it's only off by a little tiny amount, I'd probably just go ahead and mount the bridge as best you can, and then just ream the holes afterwards. Glue it down and ream it, and you're gonna have a little bit of an egg-shaped hole there on the actual bridge pad. You won't be able to tell it from the top. I don't think it's that big a deal if it's only a little tiny bit. Now, if you're talking half the hole, well, maybe you ought to plug them and then re-drill them, that kind of thing. So it just depends on how bad it is. I've done both. I've done it both ways. Carolyn Fike, Jerry, that's enough political rant. LOL, yeah. Well, it's a sad deal, man, that we have to live with it. It really is. I'm just sick of all the lying, cheating, stealing, under the table stuff. It's just sad. It's really sad. And, while you might lean toward one leader or the other, the sad truth is, they're both rotten apples in just two different bags. That's all it amounts to. That's just what it amounts to. And I cannot excuse their bad behavior. I don't care what they say now. I can't excuse their bad behavior because you can tell that it's the same, and nobody is trying to pull together anymore. It's all pushing apart. It's pitiful, just plain pitiful. Bill Webb, Don McLean doing American Pie, changed a string and never missed a beat. Yeah. There's some pretty talented people out there. I can't say I could do that. Even with my method, I don't know that I could do that very well, but I think I could change the string while I keep talking. Now, it might take me more than 30 seconds, might take me 2 minutes, but I'd get it done. But anyway, I guess that's going to be it, guys. I'm going to have to get busy and start getting ready for tonight. It's going to take more than you might think to get it all ready and get it all tested and checked out. And I'm I'm a little apprehensive about what kind of comments we're going to get tonight because everybody's going to have their own mic, and I'm just sure that we're just going to get, I don't know, inundated or whatever you want to say with comments about, I can't hear the guitar, I can't hear the dobro, or the dobro's too loud, or the mandolin's not working, or whatever. I'm pretty sure that's the way it's going to be. Where see, if you just use the one mic, you just get what you get, and you don't have many options. You just do the best you can. But we'll see how it goes. But I am a bit apprehensive about it. You never know till you try, and it may be just fine, but we won't know till we'll see you this evening about 7 o'clock. I hope you'll be there. By the way, you still have time until 6 o'clock this evening to enter the free, to win the free violin and the case and the little bow. So if you still are interested in that, send me a video yet today to rosastringworks@gmail.com. You have until 6 o'clock. And I have not looked out on my email in the last couple days, so there's probably entries out there that I haven't seen. Don't worry, I'll look at them yet this evening or tonight or after we're done with the concert or sometime, and I will announce the winner tomorrow morning live, and we will get that shipped out as soon as we can. Let's see, did anything pop up there? Yeah. Dottie, I have to agree with that comment about the politicians. Yeah, we'd be in jail for sure. Well, guys, we will see you this evening about 7 o'clock. Please come back. I would love to have you here. Thank you.